Hello everyone, this is Tails409 and welcome back to Let's Play Alone in the Dark. I read a book that killed me last time. Let's just get rid of it. Really? I don't want to read any of this stuff because it's just so much at this point.
The importance placed on ritual sacrifice is constant in religious cult practice. Propitiating the gods is a theme common to many religions. The Old Testament affords many examples. Primitive polytheistic belief systems integrate sacrifice in their rituals as part of the recurrent process of reaffirmation and, naturally enough, group cohesion. The members of their social and religious community come together in an act of purification and atonement. It would be erroneous to imagine the act of human sacrifice linking priest, offering, and God, C.F. Manzetti's stone cults, as anything less than a vital focusing of the group's faith. The act also ensures the continuing appeasement of the god, but only if practiced by a recognized officiating priest using the appropriate instrument. Studies made concerning primitive religious groups bear witness to the central role of sacrifice in living ritual. My own work in the field of ethnopsychology brought me into contact with a sorcerer living in the region of Arkham. He introduced me to the rite of steel, linked to a ceremony known as adoring the black goat of the woods with 1,000 youngs. The god being adored is known as the vagabond. Here, the dagger's role, which allows a life breath to pass from one dimension to another, is essential. The vagabond is a frightening figure, being able to move where he wants and to kill those who have displeased the goat god, for whom he acts as a go-between. The goat is clearly a fertility god. The priest, having spoken the invocation, must choose the appropriate dagger for the sacrifice. The knife with a sinusoidal blade that must be dipped 7 times, on night when the moon is full, in water that has been distilled 100 times, will be laid aside, since it would send the vagabond back into his own dimension. The priest will rather choose the dagger with a curved blade. That is more appropriate for slitting of the lamb's throat. This act transfigures the sorcerer priest and plunges the assembled worshippers into a divine trance.
Yes, okay. If we stand on this, that book that kills you can't kill you for some reason.
Translation does not alter the occult power contained within such forbidden texts. The malevolent energy is in no way diminished. The spell must be cast aloud and clearly, in certain languages or little-known dialects. Maglafar. The reader will understand that, in the light of these revelations, I would be foolhardy to continue quoting from the text I have before me. If spoken aloud in its entirety, it would surely awaken powerful and malignant forces. I will go further and say that simple reading of some of the more technical passages describing specific practices is in itself a perilous exercise. The ill-prepared reader can easily fall prey to attacks of demented hysteria, not unlike those described in cases of individuals said to be possessed by evil spirits. I recommend the study made by Zempf, Urbain, Grandier, and Loudon, and the reports made by the Reverend Richard Price concerning a number of astonishing, to say the least, exorcisms carried out in a parish near Providence. Given what I have written, we must be grateful to the librarians of the British Museum, who have never allowed consultation of the work of Al-Azib's startling work, the infamous Necronomicon. Copies of that work do exist, in spite of the zeal of book-burning inquisitors, For proof, we need look no further than the British Museum, of course, and the sealed archives of the Miskatonic University in Arkham. Other examples of books whose evil can be unleashed by any thoughtless reader are von Jutz's von Unersprechlichen Kulten and the abominable De Vermis Mysteries by Ludwig Prien, whose sordid death should be a lesson to all those tempted by a study of the occult.
Alright, and one more.
The Book of Yael.
This is a parchment.
Signs
Shouldn't
of
this be shorter?
Stone. Eucharistic rituals of forbidden cult.
Numerous devilish cults speak of monstrous creatures called the Old Ones. These supernatural beings are believed to be possessed of powers equivalent to those of the gods of antique religions. Adepts of such cults refer to forbidden literature in order to cause these frightful entities to appear before them. What serious student of folk myths has not come across the names of Cthulhu and Shub-Niggurath? It must be said that these creatures wield tremendous power and are difficult to control once they have been unleashed into the world. Those who serve He who goes in shadows protect themselves with signs of stone carved into the walls of houses or engraved on various objects. For those misguided servants of evil, the best protection appears to be that afforded by the sign of the most ancient gods, engraved in Manar stone, a heavy material said to be disagreeable to the touch. The sinful practices of those who fall into such errors can only lead to the darkest of despair, and are a mortal danger to the soul. Such monsters as those invoked by these foolhardy individuals are engendered when reason drops its guard. Man is easily tempted into perversion. It is why we must forever remain alert and renounce Satan with each breath we take. His ways are infinite in number.
I will say, later horror games will do a much better job at actually spacing these kind of things out. Because, oh boy, they throw a lot at a time at you in this game. My goodness. Oh, hi. This one, I think. Die! You're dead. That worked. Alright, we are done with the second floor. Now it's time to do the last remaining stuff for the first floor. Let's not go that way. Let's go this way. This is a shortcut. We can actually unlock the doors from this side. There we go. And I don't need the lamp anymore. There we go. The lamp will get one more use. Ugh. Running is hard. Alright, but yeah, we're almost ready to go to the final stretch. I've got the key for this now. There we go. Nothing. That's the record we need. I don't want to read another book. But I should. I'll do it. Because I must show everything.
The Tale of Captain JW Norton of the
1862.
The South was in collapse.
The South was in collapse.
Was over.
Louisiana was open to us. I had each day to requisition victuals for our troops, and was aided in this endeavor by a score of brave men. Rebels were not yet ready to lay down their arms. The region was far from safe. I headed further and further west, and questioned many freed slaves. From them, I learned of a plantation on the coast. Its name was Derceto. We received a less than hearty welcome. Only Pickford, the owner, behaved in a friendly manner. While my men counted cattle and grain reserves, I learned what I could from him. Man was most unusual and possessed an extraordinarily cultured mind. At nightfall, I gave orders for the men to bivouac at Derceto. Pickford invited my second-in-command, Lieutenant Patterson, and myself to dine. And our host proved a most entertaining conversationalist. While coffee was being served, Patterson went to inspect the men's camp. The cigar Pickford offered me was so acrid that my head began to spin. I remembered campfire tales of fellow officers trapped by devilish Confederate tricks. My mind floated in a foul and dense fog, from which emerged the enlarged and deformed face of Pickford. He grinned at me. Patterson's return chased off the nightmare. I heard shouts and firing from outside and found the strength to take out my revolver. I fired 3 shots. Pickford fell to the floor. Patterson then helped me out of the burning house. The air was filled with smoke. We resembled a company in disorderly retreat. I saw slaves leaping into the flames of that inferno. They were trying to save Pickford's life.
I see. Throw this out now. I don't need it. No, I don't want it! Okay, we'll be back here a tad later. Now it's time to go into the ballroom and do what's probably one of the most difficult parts of the game to survive, so I'm just going to save the game here. And we're going to use this record. We need to try and get this key without touching the dancing couples, or they will turn into giant random spheres and kill us. Right there. Now all we gotta do is get out. I'm not gonna bother you. There we go, we did it! And with that, it's time to head to the final section of the game. The Underground. To do that, all we have to do is place the cavalry symbol we picked up all the way back at the start of the game and place it. There we go. Now down here will be a bridge, and this bridge is a point of no return. Once you cross this bridge, there's no turning back, so make sure you've got everything you need. A lamp, I've got a weapon, I've got the talisman, I've got a lighter, I've got more oil. I'm gonna be good. I do wanna equip the revolver now, though. And let's run. Because this bridge breaks. This is why it's a point no return. And now we get to what, in my opinion, is probably the scariest part of the entire game. Because we're going to be chased by the deep one. And I do think it looks at least a little creepy. And here's a zombie chicken. Oops. Alright, there we go. We killed it. Now, can we get across before it gets here, or am I gonna have to change tactics? Because the deep one is an instant death. Yeah, no, I died. Let me get out the revolver again. So yeah, when I say the scariest part in the game, I don't mean it's super terrifying. I just think the deep one looks kind of creepy compared to everything else in this game. And the first time I played it, I was like, oh, it actually looks kind of weird. I don't like it. Well, let's just pretend it's horrifying. Ah! 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 Oh, no! Ah! I'm gonna die! I'm scared! Yeah, I still don't think I'm gonna make it. But there is another way around this if things don't work out. Yeah, okay. We're not getting past that now, but I don't think we're supposed to. You see, after he goes all the way in, he actually destroyed a boulder that we can now walk by and go behind him. There's just one problem with it, and that's how the camera can really get in the way. There we go. And there we go. We made it past. Alright, so we're gonna save because there's something in the water. Yep, there he is, the Dagon. Ooh, he's trying to be scary. Alright, and now we have a jump command. Perfect. But I did it. And you don't want to fight the Dagon because you could fight him, but he just comes back. Every time. Ow, uh-oh. Oh, that's not fair! What was that? Oh yeah, and if you fall, your rifle becomes useless. Not that it matters. I never found the shells for it anyway. And your lamp goes down. Alright, let's just hurry before he gets here, because that was really annoying last time. There we go. There we go. Let's take out the revolver again, because we're going to fight this weird spider rat thing. Okay. I don't think he's dead yet. No, he's not. Hey, he's dead now. But yeah, the last section again can be a little annoying because, as you saw, there's a jump command, meaning there's platforming. And you know this can only go so well. Oh well, let's see if I can handle it. Very good. Oh, I don't get it. That bug thing usually doesn't attack me so much. Oh, there's so much left. He didn't get me that time. Alright, I did it! I did platforming. And now we go back into the dark, spooky tunnels. Oh boy. Oh, there's a path to take. Which way should I go? We should save and think about it. Let's go left. Big mistake! Giant spider! We can easily get away from it, and then it just never gets us. That's it. Alright, I think I'm going to stop it here, because there's not much left. Next video, I am finishing this game. Until then, though, this has been Tale of JW 109, and have a nice day.